Cheap beer makes me think so much about Harrisonburg, DIY, and the like basement college scene that we were a part of, where like touring bands would come play at the house we lived in, which was called Lon Lon Ranch.
From Zelda.
Yep, on Old South High Street, which like a bunch of bands and friends that we know have lived in. Dogwood Tales lived in that house. It's no longer a show house, but as you get older, the like scene changes and moves from where you experienced it. And I think Cheap Beer is kind of trying to capture how we experienced the DIY music scene in our college town, because it's not around in the same way that it was before.
Sasha and I worked at the Golden Pony, a place that Palmyra's played a lot, and probably the place I've played the most number of times in my life. There's a lot of imagery in the verses about working doubles, you know, being a server at that place.
I go in at 8, round 2, I get a 2-hour break. These back-to-back doubles, the death of me. Back of house doing bumps of cocaine again.
This song has an energy that I think I associate with that college period of my life.
I remember the first time we worked on Cheap Beer was in Pittsburgh, waking up at a friend's house after a show. And we had some time to kill, so we started working on some new tunes. We probably worked on some others on the EP too. It was kind of that era. But Cheap Beer, the chorus especially, was pretty like instant the way that it happened. I remember, you know, working on the guitar lick for Cheap Beer, and I think it was like the first thing that I played. We were just like, yeah, let's run with that.
Yeah, it was sick. It is sick.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of licks and choruses over lyrics.
Yeah.
It's a cool process in the studio. I think it was one of the first tunes that we worked on for this EP, and I think it was the first or the second day. It was like midnight, and we were trying to figure out something weird for the guitar solo.
Yeah, totally.
And our engineer, Danny Gibney, had the idea to use this old piece of gear, this like rack delay unit called the Primetime.
Shout out.
We used the Primetime a lot after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we call it the primetime section.
It kind of became an issue.
It did. We had to cut some Primetime. But for that song, the weird guitar solo is me in the tracking room interacting with Danny, just turning knobs on this weird delay unit.
You and Danny have a special little connection in the studio where you
Yeah.
you make sounds and Danny fucks with them.
Yeah,
Really
hard
beautiful.
cut to footage of your noise project.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we not do that? Honestly, tight. Missing looks. That was good.
Someone told me one thing they really like about Cheap Beer is that it's a song that remixes itself in the third chorus.
You gotta be kidding me.
We have this like Lou Reed section that then has these like really cool samples that Sasha did on the SP Rolling 404.
There's a lot of moments in the studio that you kind of just like fully let loose and just like fuck around.
Yeah.
And you listen to it and you're like, that's cool, but we're probably not gonna keep it, right? You listen to it the next day and you're like, wait, actually we should keep that. That's awesome.
I love that the SP404, like the vocal samples, made it on the EP in Cheap Beer and probably elsewhere too, because that was a really big part of like the college music scene for me.
Totally.
was making beats on that thing. One of my favorite things about the studio is we just bring every recording toy that we have and we see what we can make with it. And on an Americana record or an indie rock record, I don't think you'd expect like hip-hop vocal chop samples, but
Right.
we have them on this song because that is something that influences us.
Sweet.